Hello, everyone. This is Director Marlon Green. I want to say hi, everyone. Keep everything positive. And I want to say all roads are not smooth. You're going to run into some potholes. You're going to run into some hilly bumps. You're going to run into some speed traps. So stay positive. If you make a mistake, make sure you be able to clean it up or retract or correct yourself, because a lot of people out there think that they don't make mistakes and they'll look over you and take you for granted every time. Good morning. Today, this is basically generally speaking, and I want to say that I had a kind of informative experience today. One of my business partners of mine had filed an appeal because we couldn't agree on something, and so they appealed it, and I agreed to appeal. But what happened was we have this trial set for about a week from now, and they decide to have a hearing about a week before trial. Now this case has been sitting for months and months, and I've been trying to get this information from Miss Miller, and she has not been responsive. And I did mistakenly, no, I didn't mistakenly. I used cuss words in the email because she was administratively and technically abusive. And a lot of the white folks believe that if you don't cuss them, they're not able to offend you. And let me tell you something, white folks, this goes for everyone. I'm not afraid to tell you when you're wrong either, okay? And so when I'm wrong, I make an apology, I make an amends. And when you're wrong, you should be consistent. You should make an apology. You should make an amends, because a lot of you all are arrogant and you don't know what common respect is. And even if you're a judge, that doesn't mean that you can just say anything and do anything and threaten anyone either. Now, I understand there are certain circumstances where people should go to jail for, but cuss words in the email because they're technically abusive is not one of them. And I want to say, if I have to say thank you, why don't all of you all say thank you? Because this last few months has been hell. And if you're a judge that don't understand people that's been abused, then you shouldn't be a judge. As simple as that. I didn't ask to come to the appeals court. They asked to come to the appeals court. I don't think that he should have got an appeal. I didn't check the references because I've been busy doing other things. And I'm quite sure that this appeal should not have been granted if they lost by default, and he had no special circumstances to warrant his case. And there's all kind of certain special rules that they have that they did not tell us about, that he did not issue to us, and they expect us to fall in line. And then also, the judge accused me of being late. The hearing was at 9:15. I got in at 9:25. But I'm going to give them a lower rating because I was waiting for the clerk of courts to tell me where this room was about 15 minutes. And I got there 2 minutes before 9:15. I waited 12 minutes for her to tell me the exact room that it was in. And even when I got to the first clerk, they didn't have the answer. They sent me to another clerk around the corner down the hall. And so you never know what you're going to get. And so this lady named Miss Miller at the appeals court, she was pissed off that I used curse words in my email, and she forwarded it to the judge, and the judge said he's going to forward it to the jury. And I don't care. You know why? Because they should send this one also, because an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. And there's always some peril that they cause that they don't know about. I had people, judges and court officers, spill my information, tell people don't sign notaries, disclose your information to third parties, try to make a hostile environment. I believe it was a hostile environment this morning because he was just too anxious to issue punishment on me, and he sees I'm already abused. And so if y'all expect me to apologize for everything that y'all offended for, okay, I'll apologize. Why don't you be more consistent and you apologize too? And just because you're a judge or you're a court officer doesn't mean that you get special treatment. You know, respect is a two-way street. This morning it felt like a one-way street. You know, people can act like they're nice, but their demeanor and their tone can be hostile. White folks don't count that. White folks don't count every time a black person or a minority get taken advantage of. This affects his psyche. White folks don't figure out that if you got a neck injury and you've been running behind trying to get medical treatment and all the folks was white denying you, you have a right to be angry. And you don't have the arrogance to say what people gonna think all the time because they're abused and you're not. That's two different psyches. So if you can't put yourself in my shoes, you will never understand. And by you being in such high society, by you all hiring your friends and stuff, and it's not going to be balanced out anyway. There's another place. I'm quite sure Denton Appeals Court can hire more African Americans than they do, because I didn't hardly see any of them, and that's a red flag off top. You know, you have intuition, you have gripes, I have intuition, I have the feel of things. You know, if you all want us to be more familiar, send us the link to the website. I did not ask to come to the appeals court. Whoever did this should have had this taken care of and issued both parties their pleadings. And just because you're a judge doesn't mean that you have to be insensitive to minorities because you didn't grow up as one. And they're constantly being technically abused, verbally abused, socially abused, and financially abused. You say nothing. You turn a blind eye, and you're supposed to be Christians. And then when Miss Miller does come in, she's not dressed like the rest of the court. She's dressed way too casual, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. So if you're going to put something in the email, put this link in the email also so people could get the real deal, you know. I did curse. I apologize. Y'all did abuse me as a society. No one's apologized. I was put into prison for 2 years for an administrative inquiry. I have a right to be angry at insurance companies when they tell me I don't qualify for 40-something times, and then you look on the paper, it's a straight lie. They looking at the paper, and they telling you you don't qualify for medical treatment. It's 2 years later, and you looking at the paper, it says medical treatment. But y'all don't understand that. Y'all don't understand anxiety comes with neck injuries, head injuries, back injuries. That doesn't mean we're crazy. It means you all need to do your research and be more sensitive to handicapped and minority people. And if you're going to put me in jail for 6 months for cursing in an email or using cuss, why don't you put people in jail for contempt of court, for tampering with witnesses, and for telling people not to sign notaries involved in an investigation already? Why don't you do that? You're not going to do that, huh? You see all the people I help. You see all the work that I do. You even watch my videos. You see my ratings. You see what I'm about. You all are insensitive, culturally biased, and a lot of you are racist. Let's just admit it. You won't even admit that African Americans was a slave for 400 years, and that plays a large role in our social ability to get things done. You haven't even admitted that. Have you admitted all of the black folks, all of the minority folks that you have done wrong? I don't think so. You all live in guilt. You live in shame. And if I let you, you'll blame everything on me. And I'm just not going to do it.